Live from multiple locations via the miracle of Skype. It's the LTN Hour. Let's talk NASCAR with your host, Todd Bailing. Co-host, Ed Kaluka. Featuring dangerous Dan Margetta. And Brian Schmidt. LTN is a caller-driven program, and your participation is encouraged by calling 414-421-7901. That's 414-421-7901. Now, the creator and host of the fastest hour in radio, Todd Bailing.
You think you're confused over daylight savings time? It's 8 o'clock in the morning in Phoenix right now. And my alarm went off at 4 for some damn reason. Why is that? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the program.
Dumb.
No, my phone is dumb. No, that can't be, can it? Nice of you to join us. Very confusing. The phone, never mind. I'm going to blame the phone, Ed. I'm going to just blame it, then leave it.
Go there.
Yeah, I know. Hey, nice to have you. We are joining you from Phoenix, Arizona, where, of course, we're getting ready to race today in the Instacart 500K. The only reason I know anything about the Ks is because I remember it's 312 laps. So 3 to 5, but not exactly. I am joined in studio, as we say in the radio business, by Dan Margetta, who's been out here for now a week and a half.
About a week and a half. This is the second part of the double. Did Vegas last week, Phoenix today. Fortunately, going home tomorrow.
You don't do back-to-back races very often, do you?
No, the last one I did was Martinsville, North Wilkesboro in 1995.
Oh my! Well, that's kind of what this was about. You know, if they didn't get chicken in California, we could be moving this whole circus out to Fontana. You know, for next week, just down the line. Just something for you to think about. You know,
He did too because Crystal came with him.
and our two Wisconsin hosts, Ed Kaluka of West Bend, Wisconsin, who you have heard from previously on this program. Morning, Eddie.
Good morning, Todd and Crystal and Dan.
And, of course, Brian Schmidt of Utzberg, USA.
Morning.
Who's been watching dirt track racing on his computer for the last couple of days.
Yeah, we could almost race dirt tracks here. It's actually nice enough. I mean, it's not going to continue to be nice, but it's nice. It's 42 degrees here, Todd. What's the temperature by you?
Well, let's put it this way. Right now in Avondale, Arizona, where the track is, it's 44.
Wow.
But
the same.
This afternoon, they're going to be sunny and a high of 70. So
we're not going to get that here.
No. But you are going to get snow or something, aren't you?
Yeah.
Dan, you're going home tomorrow, aren't you?
That must be what it's. He's coming home and we're getting snow. Go for it.
That's the welcome, man. I guess
it comes out of the bring it with you type of thing.
Think you're going to leave for a week and a half in our winter?
This is what you get when you come home. If you'd like to participate in today's program, the number is 414-421-7901. And, of course, as we go along here, you may just feel like picking up your phone and saying, I have to talk to those guys. That's fine. You can do that. You could talk about Ty Gibbs. The way I see it, Ty Gibbs, it's a damn good thing he's not in the Cup race today, because in the ARCA race where he kicked everybody's behind the other night and won that, yesterday in his second ever Xfinity race, he finished second, which probably is a good thing they didn't go another 5 laps, or he might have won that thing too. Yes, he's a talent. Yes, he's in good equipment. I don't know that really matters. He's a silver spoon guy. Oh no, Ed. Of course it matters. Of course it matters that he's in a good car, but everybody's in a good car up at the front of the field, right? And this kid gets in and he's producing. You know, some people get in good cars and they don't produce.
Well, you said good cars. Is the Larry's Hard Lemonade Chevrolet driven by Brandon Brown a good car? He finished third.
How about that third place finisher? Brandon Brown is becoming some kind of a internet sensation. He's very active on social media, and he's got a lot of fans, and he's a pretty cool kid. And he finished third yesterday. What we call a Charlie Foxtrot of a finish we had in that Xfinity race yesterday. That's probably led to why Ty Gibbs ended up where he was. They had more guys hitting the wall on the last 2 laps of that race than in the whole race itself. It was just pretty incredible. But we do have another new star that's emerging, Josh Berry, who gave the double bird to IndyCar driver Santino Ferrucci, who was in there doing his thing, trying to learn stock car racing, gave him the double bird. Ed, that's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Well, Paducci thought that it was in our country. He said that's a salute.
Oh, really?
Even though the country is not Italy. Italy,
he's from Connecticut, the country. The country of Connecticut. Yeah, that's what they do. They give the double bird, apparently, and it's a salute. Well, he got saluted. Josh Berry keeping the seat warm for Sam Mayer in that number 8 car. As soon as Sam turns 18, he'll be taking it over. Hey, Berry hasn't done a really bad job in that car.
No, he's been all right, and it's good he got a shot. I mean, he's been running late models and all, or late model stock. I think he's the champion in that.
He's not a baby. He's 30 years old.
He's been running juniors late model stock team and doing well, and it's about time he got a shot, I guess, and taking advantage of it.
Another good car and a kid that's really listen to me. At 30, when you're my age, everybody's a damn kid. And then there's Ed.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a chance to see Ty Gibbs do his thing here. How long is it going to be before they're going to have to make room for him at the inn? Because right now there's nowhere to put him unless the Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin 2311 team is going to make some room for him. Here's the thing, Dan, don't they say they're talking to a veteran? And there's some pretty good rumored names out there?
I mean, that came out earlier in the week, or maybe last week. Denny Hamlin said they would look for a veteran driver to expand that team. I think he was referring to Brad Keselowski. That'd be my guess.
Really?
I mean, look at who's going to be available this year after the free agents already out there. Brad's been doing 1-year deals with Penske for a long time, taking somewhat of a pay cut each time, but still getting paid pretty good. And nobody really is there to compete with Penske, equipment wise. I mean, Hendrick was out there. I thought the 48 was a great place to do that, but they went with Kyle Larson and Brad stayed with Penske. So there's not much leverage there for him to use against the Penske ride, but that 2311 team, if they're looking for that, there may be some there that they could be able to maybe, pry Brad away from that.
Funny you should mention the free agents for next year, because not only do I have Brad Keselowski on the list, there are guys that are on this list that are probably not going to be considered. But here's whose contracts expire at the end of this year: Kurt Busch, De Benedetto, Guido, Almirola, Bowman, Newman, Chastain, and Preece are all going to be free agents. And, if you're looking for a name to put in the car, I think there's no better name out there than Keselowski, because he and Kurt are the only ex-champions on that list. But
those are probably your 2 top guys. And with Ty Gibbs running so well now, and I mean, running up front and challenging for wins, winning races, Kyle Petty inferred that a couple weeks ago and made all those guys mad that don't worry, we're all good at Joe Gibbs for places to put him. But I guess they're going to have to start thinking about it, especially if the results keep coming in. And that 2311 team's a perfect place to park a few if they have the resources to expand. It takes a lot to do it. I don't know if anybody watched or followed Twitter. Bob Levine, the old owner of the 95 car, pretty much laid out there what it takes to run. And it's like up to $17 million to run a team that's halfway competitive.
17 mil, which I don't think is a big problem with all the sponsors that are lined up behind Bubba right now. But how are you going to stretch that thin? Somebody's going to have to bring some money along. And does Keselowski have any personal sponsors?
No, I don't think so. Brad would be the results. I mean, if you look at what Brad's done, I mean,
Kurt has Monster. Apparently, he has Monster. So
does Gibbs. So how much money is Monster going to put behind Ty Gibbs? They did some with Riley Herbst, but that wasn't as much as it was before. And yesterday's car, for the first time, didn't have Monster on it for Ty Gibbs. So we thought that was like a full deal there with them, and evidently it's not.
And you got to remember that Monster deal with Herbst. I mean, that they own those gas stations, right? And Vegas is a terrible Herbst. So that could be like a shelf trade type deal where Monster's on the car, but we're getting prime placement in the.
And isn't this the last year for the Primary Cup sponsorship for Xfinity? I mean, for our friends at Monster. Well, that's all going to play into it. We'll be back. Hang in there.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience. Stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
This week on NASCAR Live, Hendrick Motorsports driver Kyle Larson joined us.
I guess I didn't know if I would ever win another Cup Series race. So just very thankful that I got the opportunity and got a second chance, really. So that meant a lot to me. And yeah, once I got to that white flag, I was a little choked up and excited during that final lap, just knowing that I wasn't going to be challenged by anybody behind me.
Hi, I'm Mike Bagley. Join us for NASCAR Live, Tuesdays at 6 on the Motor Racing Network.
Right here on the Big 920.
You can follow along on Facebook, and we have our own YouTube channel. Our friend and listener and compadre, Aaron Baird, gave us a very interesting post on Facebook just now. Bob Levine, Levine, I don't even know, is it Levine? I think it is. The guy that owned the 95 car the last couple of years that had Christopher Bell in it last year. He also had Casey Kane 1 year in the car. He said that he's been very candid about the finances of that number 95 car. His budget for last year was $458,000 per race for a mid-pack car, which comes out to 16.5 for one car, 1 year to run in the middle of the pack. Ed, it wasn't that long ago that was a front-running car, 16, wasn't it?
Well, them look like tax man numbers to me. We got some inflated numbers here.
What else you got?
Well, you are taking prize money in, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's got to be worth about $6 million, I would imagine.
For a mid-pack car, that sounds like a fair number.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you got to subtract that from his expenses. Plus, he had some sponsors along the way. So, sure, it cost him 16.5, but he probably made 2.3. But let's not talk about that.
Well, and then after paying everybody too, don't forget, there's.
That's part of the $458,000 per
a race. Yeah, true that. Boy, what a business to be in. No wonder this guy didn't hang around. And what was the sponsor he had on that car? Procore. Procore, that was it. And what did they do? We don't even know.
Construction. It was a part of the in this construction field, and I think they had something to do with it. I remember Greg Emmer giving me a rundown on what that Procore was and what they did, but it had something to do with the construction industry.
Dan,
as far as racing is concerned, if you go up to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin on a given weekend, like say for the runoffs or something like that, and you'll see that kind of money just laying around, but they just run for a trophy and are happy.
Yeah. It's quite a rich guy's hobby, isn't it?
That's their golf game, man.
That's right. Dan, you went to Vegas last week and you saw a pretty damn good race.
It really was. It was a good race to watch. I mean, it's been a while since we saw him from start to finish like that. That was just fun to watch from the grandstand. I mean, we had 3 wide racing for the lead for multiple laps in the middle of the race a couple times. It wasn't just in the last lap.
Imagine.
And, Yeah, a really fun race to watch, and I'm glad I got to see Kyle Larson win.
And the crowd was pretty pro Kyle Larson, weren't they?
Yeah, it was a popular victory.
Yeah, that's people are kind of tired of the cancel culture. Is that what they call it now? Yeah, and it's kind of nice that he's escaped all of that and right back to the front of the field, and he's still winning, folks. He won in everything he's raced over the last year, including a stock car, especially now that he got away from Cheap Chip in that piece of garbage 42 car, which I will take to my grave with me, calling it that after it buried Matt Kenseth's last year. It was that still pisses me off. Ed. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Ed. I'm sure Matt is kicking himself for going, why didn't I just stay home and play with my daughters? It would have been I would have won just as many races, you know. Either way, Kyle Larson goes to Hendrick, and interestingly, I think that he got the attention of the racing world. If you didn't think he was the favorite to win the championship before, he's running up front every week. He's now won one race out of the first four.
He's in the chase.
He's in the chase. Can you imagine? This guy won 6 races in 7 years for Ganassi. And now, I mean, it would be hard to convince me that it wasn't all one guy that brought that win home every week. It was the driver, because Dan, we've learned some interesting things about the two teams there at Ganassi.
Well, it seems like Hendrick's got a better all-around situation there. I mean, obviously they got something figured out because they're fast out of the box this year. They got their speed
bodies, Dan.
Right, and they're there. But on the Ganassi side, I don't know if the 1 and the 42 actually work together as much as you think they would. I'm not, Hendrick's are better. Hendrick is better at having everybody on the same page and kind of bringing all 4 teams up. And I still think the 1 and the 42 are as close as some people think, that they're a little bit farther apart. And it showed with the driver. Kurt carries the 1 car. Kyle Larson carried the 42.
Dan, he says things, and it's interesting how he brings it out because it's the cleaned up version. He knows for a fact by talking to people that worked there that the 1 and the 42 shared 0 information. They still share 0 information. Can you imagine? How are you trying to win races if your guys don't have a meeting on Monday morning and compare notes, and then have a meeting on Saturday and compare notes for what's coming? They
then you got Chad Knaus pulling it all together now.
And Ed, it wasn't just Knaus, but it sounds like you were pretty right about those new bodies, that it's making that much of a difference.
That's a good platform. It's a good aero platform.
I can't imagine how they could have gone from being, it really didn't look like Hendrick over the last couple of years, and suddenly the light just goes back on because the body is better. That's all it took. Why didn't they do this before?
If you study the 2 cars side by side, you can see the little nuances on that new car.
Wow.
There's about 6 of them.
Huh.
This all started towards the end of last year. You can see it towards the last half of last year with the 9 car, how good they ran, and started to make grounds. And the Fords and like Harvick, I thought, started to fade. And I think that carried into this year. You saw it last week where Harvick was kind of out to lunch and hasn't done much so far this year, while the Hendrick cars are up front. They've got 2 wins already. And you can kind of see patterns that way. And, by the time we get to Charlotte in May, that may change around and they'll flip right back because you're always working on your stuff. And somebody's trying to get better than you. And while you're up front, it's hard to work on this stuff to get better in the future because you got to keep up where you're at.
And, all of a sudden, what a brilliant move to bring Kyle Larson in. Ford, when Tony Stewart went to Ford and said, I want to sign Kyle Larson to drive the 14 car, Ford would not let him. He was too much of a liability to carry a controversial driver. So Chevrolet, who originally said, we don't want to have anything to do with him anymore, is the same group that said, okay, bring him back. We'll support you, Rick, if you want to put him in your car. And it's going to be the move of the year, that the fact that Rick Hendrick was able to bring that guy back into the fold, don't you think?
And it looks like there's a little bit of karma that's going with that because the Stewart-Haas organization is just awful right now, And I mean, I don't know, would Kyle Larson in that camp help them, because right now they are just out to lunch. I mean, Harvick starts on the pole last week and just drops like an anchor,
Yeah, Ed, I was going to ask you about that. We're not seeing the Kevin Harvick of the last couple of years, and if you're going anywhere to get right for Harvick, it would seem to me that Phoenix is the place for him to turn it around. And Ed will comment on that after we come back.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily. From premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
The NASCAR Cup Series.
Side by side, they race back off of turn number 4. Chase Elliott is there.
Move southwest to the Phoenix Raceway.
Harvick drives it in deep. He'll go to the outside lane, trying to get a run on Logano. Can't do it. Logano leads. They're crushing further back.
It's high-speed, close-quarters racing at its best.
Joey Logano is going to victory lane.
The Instacart 500.
All the action starts at 1:30 today on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR. The Big 920 at Big920.com.
Boy, Ed, if your favorite driver driving that 4-car needs to turn his season around, this seems to be the place to do it. The question is, do they have it in them? They look like they're on the downturn.
Well, they had an interesting problem last week, and Rodney Childers had talked about it. They had a problem with getting their tire codes matched up. And when you look at the label on the tires today, unlike back in the years when I started working with Bill Elliott and actually rating tires, and Goodyear said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, you're rating the tires at the factory. Why don't you put it on the label? Then we wouldn't have to be rating tires in the pits." They do that now. And every tire, the spring rate of the sidewall is printed right on the label. And if you don't pay attention to that and get your tires set in as far as sidewall spring rate, you can mix and match tires. And if the car is, say, pushing, and you put a left rear tire in a car with more air in it to loosen the car up, and the code is wrong, and you've got a tire you just put on that's 400-pound spring rate sidewall stiffer than the one you put on, it'll erase that change and drive you crazy. And I think that's what was going on last week.
Ed, so whose fault is this? Is it Goodyear? Is it the guys that are reading the tire codes? Is it
the guys that are reading the tire codes, not putting their tires in a proper sets of stiff, medium, and soft as far as spring rate on the tires, so that you know that if you have a situation, you'll take this set down off the wall and you put on a stiffer set or a softer set to help eliminate part of the problems you have.
Wow. So somebody's, either going to get their job taken away from them, or they're going to have a real good talk about these spring rates, because if that's all it took for the way how poorly that car is performing.
It wasn't
right
just
now.
the 4 last week. All 4 Stewart House cars weren't good. I mean, the 10 wasn't good, the 14 wasn't good, and the 41 wasn't that great either.
Do they have one guy doing all separating all the tires?
Each one has his own.
Well, then that might be it, but I think
it's just a little part of the problem, but it's still a problem.
Well, this would be the place for Kevin Harvick to turn it around today. He's got 9 wins here, people. The next closest is 3. Can you imagine? So, and that's Kyle Busch. So we'll see what he's got up his sleeve. We're going to give you your weekly Josh Bilicki update, Wisconsin's one and only Cup driver. Last week, Josh didn't have a good run. He finished 35th out of the 38 cars in the race. 2 cars were out of the race, so he was running ahead of one other car at the end of the race. He was 15 laps down. Today, he will start 36th out of the 38-lap field. So Josh has got his work cut out for him yet again. It's got to be not, you come to the racetrack thinking, well, let's do something here, and there's really nothing that they can do. It seems like it's just.
You know, there's 3 cars going to the rear today.
Yeah, 4 actually.
4.
The Kyle Larson and William Byron are going to the rear. A couple of back markers are going to the back, but they were back there anyway, so it didn't really matter on that one. So Brad Keselowski will start from the pole today. Larson was supposed to start from the outside, but he's going all the way to the back. Hamlin starts 3rd, and by the way, he is the point leader for those who have not won. Actually, he's the point leader no matter even if you have won a race. Christopher Bell starts 4th, and Truex will start 5th. The segments are on lap 75 and 190 of this 312 lap race on a 1-mile track. It will be televised today on Fox. You get to watch it on Channel 6. How about that? The green flag is at 2:47 Central Daylight Time. And of course, the coverage right here on the Big 920 begins at 1:30 this afternoon. The forecast is for sun and 70-degree high in the afternoon. So a perfect day for racing.
You're going back to last week, looking at the run. Kyle Busch had a pretty decent run, and he wasn't happy all race long again on the radio, but a 3rd place run is a step up. I'm curious to see how he does today at this track as far as just getting that back in place there, because I think they need to get back on on the same page or something, just back on a consistent run, and the Vegas race should have helped.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? I mean, here you got the Stewart cars aren't doing very much, and now the Gibbs cars really, they're around. They're around, and they've done all right.
I think no practice hurts Kyle Busch a lot, because I don't think you just put a computer setup in there for him, and I'm not sure how much time he spent in the simulator beforehand. I know a lot of times I think he was worried about other guys just learning his driving style, and people, because you can do that. You can copy guys' driving style when you get in the simulator. You see everything what you do on that, but maybe more simulation time would help there as far as to get a base setup that at least they can work off of, when the race starts, especially with no practice and qualifying.
Hey,
remember, he's not a fan of simulating.
No,
it's kind of hard to get him into that, So that's probably where his struggles are.
And there's a guy that can't wait for everybody to get their vaccine so we can get back to normal and start practicing.
Yep.
By the way, speaking of Kevin Harvick, it was announced this week that he's going to race the Xfinity race at Road America on Saturday, the 3rd of July, too. There's some pretty damn good cars.
Yeah, it's going to be a good race that whole weekend. It's the second Stewart House car that Harvick will be driving in. Ty Gibbs will be in that race in a 5th Gibbs car, number 81. Kyle Busch will drive the 54. A lot of Cup guys are going to be in that race because they have never raced that racetrack, and it's just about seat time and experience.
And, otherwise you'd have to sit at a computer, and some guys don't like doing that. Interesting. That it's becoming more and more attractive now, that Xfinity race on Saturday, don't you think?
I think so, especially with practice and qualifying all weekend.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's fill that place up on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, no kidding. That's pretty cool stuff. Hey, they've removed the grass from Martinsville, that strip of grass between the track and the pits there. Why is that? To make the pits wider? The pit road wider? I can't imagine what that's about. they used to drive over that curb, but they never got into the grass. So it must be they're making the pit road wider. Why would that be? It's worked good for 50 years. We'll be back.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities, including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
As a growing manufacturing company, we needed security solutions. We chose Bonafide because of the services they offer, pricing, and trusted reputation. But it's their outstanding service and support that convinced us we made the right choice with Bonafide.
When businesses need security, they contact Bonafide Security Solutions. From locks and alarms to safes and surveillance, we do it all. We are Bonafide. We protect what you value. For your free security survey, call us today or visit bonafidesafe.com.
The Wisconsin Badgers are Big Ten regular season champions, and now they set their sights on the conference tournament title.
Backside, Caulfield with it, Joseph scores! Oh, he water bottled that one! Just an absolute start from Caulfield on the power play. It's 1-1.
The Badgers head to South Bend to play in the Big Ten hockey tournament. This is Brian Kosick. Join Paul Capobianco and me for Wisconsin's semifinal matchup Monday afternoon with pregame at 3 o'clock on the Big 920.
All right, you AC/DC fans, we're back. By the way, speaking of Harvick, Dan just reminded me something that Harvick, boy, you know, it's not only he's going to road courses, he's racing next week at Bristol.
Or in 2 weeks. The weekend, the dirt race weekend, they have a truck race as the preceding show to the Cup Series, and Harvick will be in that truck race in a Gilliland truck, I think number 17.
Is there going to be a lot? Now, here, I'd have to ask Brian because this really would go right over my head. Is there a lot that you can take from a truck and maybe compare it or use it for your experience in a Cup car?
I would think that would be more so than these guys that are going to run late models next week because, you know, late models have the geometry in the rear end and they're made to go on dirt, where the trucks and the Cup cars, they're not made to go on dirt. So you're going to learn how to drive it better. So I guess if you have no experience dirt racing, I would say running a truck would be much more beneficial than running the stuff that's going to be there next week.
Yeah, that makes some sense. Hey, there is an outfit called Victory Air. They run these Embraer planes. They're not big. I don't know what I would imagine 40 passenger planes or something
50,
like that.
50, 60.
40, 50. Yeah, they're not full size jets or anything, but they run them between the Statesville Airport and wherever the Cup race is that weekend, and they bring crew guys out.
Like a charter service.
Charter service, yeah. Victory Air is owned by, among others, Marty Gallagher of GMS. Well, anyway, their plane took off yesterday from the Statesville Airport, bound for Tulsa, I believe, and they just took off, and all of a sudden, the pilot noticed the loss of oil pressure, and the heroine that she was, the female pilot of that Victory airplane, brought it back around and re-landed it back at Statesville Airport, and members of the Penske and Childress crew.
I think like some colleague guys are on there too, the colleague team.
Colleague team also, wow. Got off and got when they had to wait for another plane to take off and go out there. But nice job there, pilot. You did a great job, and that's pretty scary stuff when any of that happens. So
she shut the motor down before it would burn.
Nice. And had enough to bring it around and land it. So loss of oil pressure. That can't be good when you're in the air.
No, not at all.
So way to go. Here's a dandy we saw this week. All of a sudden, the senator from the state of Missouri, the guy's name is Roy Blunt. He's announced he's not going to run for the U.S. Senate in 2022. So they're kicking names around who could run for the Republican nomination for Senate in Missouri. And Carl Edwards' name came up for the second time now. Now, Carl Edwards apparently at one time might have mentioned to someone that he might be interested in the gig. but no one apparently asked him recently because, or they did just for this article, and he said, no, I'm not going to do that. So even though you're going to hear that name come up, Carl himself has said, no, I'm not going to. We are still pretty far out on that deal, aren't we?
Yeah, it's 2022, so it's a little bit of ways, and I think it'd be cool if he decided to do it. Has anybody ever done a backflip in the U.S. Senate before?
Yeah. Carl Edwards. Wouldn't he be? Well, he's always been a kind of a logical guy, but he's kind of a brute there. He likes to threaten guys once in a while, doesn't he? And didn't he? You got to vote for a guy that would move Kyle Busch to win a race like he did, wouldn't you? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool too. Edwards for Senate 2022. We'll see. If you'd like to participate in the program, we would love to hear from you at 414-421-7901. They're racing at Atlanta next week, and the seats that are available, I didn't see the number, the percentage. I don't know, Brian, if you saw it, but they announced that they are sold out.
I would imagine it's 25% or 20%, just like most of the other places are. And Atlanta's taken quite a few seats out now. I believe all they have left is on the front straightaway. So it's good to see that they sold them out, because that, when it was open to a full capacity, they seldom got to that point. So
yeah, no kidding. Bill Lester is going to race. It's been a while. He is 60 years old. He was a part-timer. Actually, I think he had a full-time gig for a couple of years to race in NASCAR. He has 7 top 10s in his career, but his best year, he had 4 top 10s in 2005 racing for Bill Davis. And Bill Lester is going to come back for one last hurrah, I guess, and race at Atlanta next week.
The guy with a pretty good HP computer job that was paying him really, really well, and decided to put that aside to go racing and give it a shot.
That's right. Boy, it's been a while since I remember that story.
He always drove, they always made fun of him because he always drove the garbage truck in the truck series, the truck that was sponsored by Waste Management.
Or as our late great partner Jeff Hornigold used to call him, Bill Mo Lester, coming back for one more race. Who knows? Maybe this is a thing. Maybe he'll be back. 60 years old. How long is he going to hang around? I hope he didn't really quit that job. And he needs it sooner or later. This is pretty exciting. Yeah, the next week we're going to put cars on the track at Bristol to get ready for this, and they're going to be coming from all over the country. Brian, what divisions are all racing there?
Oh man, there's everything. You got the 604 crates, 602 crates, super late models, IMCA modifieds, open modifieds. The difference there is the open modifieds are like the ones you'd see in Wasota and USRA. IMCA stock cars, and the 4-cylinders. And they started practicing Friday already. They practiced Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and tomorrow they start racing. So
good God.
You can watch that on the XR.
We're 2 weeks away from the Cup weekend?
Yeah, I mean, this is good because this is going to give them people a good opportunity to see how the track performs when you run a lot of laps on it,
Is it available for viewing?
Yes, XR Promotions, I believe it is. Just Google XR, and you can buy the whole week for $34.99. Actually, gives you the entire month of their programming. But yeah, you get the whole week of it starting tomorrow.
And it sounds as though you're going to get your money's worth out of that, huh? Sounds like
definitely.
It.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you would. I mean, it's just a matter of if you got that kind of time, because I think they're going to start racing at like 3:00 in the afternoon already, and there's going to be a lot of downtime because there's about 150 cars in each class. The super late models don't come on the track until Friday, so you won't see them, but you'll see all the other divisions, and everybody is pitting outside the track. So they got a huge staging lane around the back straightaway there. They're going to open that big gate, bring all 150 cars from that division into the infield, and you're allowed like 2 or 3 pit members per person, and then they're going to run your divisions, and they'll swap everybody out. So you can see the logistics of this are going to be a little challenging just to get it in there, but it's $200 a pit pass for the week. You got 150 cars and 6-7 divisions. There's some money to be made here.
I guess. And there's a little update from Nashville. I guess the mayor is pretty much on board with the Nashville Fairgrounds, huh?
Yeah, there is, but there's going to be some work to be done between them and the Fair Board Commission, because there's several people with the Fair Board that are getting concerns from the people that live around the area about noise and all this other kind of stuff. So they need to get more dialogue on the subject before
I listened to that I listened to the Fair Board meeting. It was an hour and a half long,
Really?
And a lot of negativity was in that board.
Yeah, this is going to be sticky. And again, we all know in this state how it is dealing with fair boards. So, this isn't signed, sealed, and delivered yet. And depending upon the people that are on that fair board commission and if they're able to go with this is going to take a little bit of work. So,
but Bruton Smith is behind the project, and I think that's a pretty good name to have in your corner.
It is, but you're still dealing with commissioners, and you know how that is.
And the school across the street said, "Is there going to be a noise issue?" We'll be right back.
Miller Sales and Service is the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer for customer service and satisfaction. Serving the area since 1939, Miller's is located on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. As the Midwest's #1 Bravo trailer dealer, Miller's has all kinds of Bravo trailers from 8 feet to 48 feet in stock. They also have a selection of B&B utility and dump trailers, reliable and Chilton open aluminum and steel trailers. With over 50 pre-owned low-mileage cars, trucks, and SUVs, Miller's has just the vehicle you are looking for. Miller's also carries a full line of Alumacraft boats and Manitou pontoon boats, complete with Evinrude outboards. Why not buy from racers who know what racers want and need? With Miller's Sales and Service on the corner of Highway 57 and K in Random Lake. Call Jerry, Tom, or Brad Miller today at 920-994-4358. That's Miller's Sales and Service, 920-994-4358.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend has everything you need with fresh mulch arriving daily, from premium hardwood mulch to hemlock and pine bark to EnviroMulch in red, gold, chocolate brown, and black colors. PMF also has a large variety of decorative stone and granite, as well as field stone, topsoil, and compost. For all your landscaping needs, visit PMF Landscape Supply, 5470 River Road in West Bend. Call 262-338-8800 or visit PMFlandscape.com. Friends of racing for many years. PMF Landscape Supply in West Bend.
This week on NASCAR Live, Hendrick Motorsports driver Kyle Larson joined us.
I guess I didn't know if I would ever win another Cup Series race. So just very thankful that I got the opportunity and got a second chance, really. So that meant a lot to me. And yeah, once I got to that white flag, I was a little choked up and excited during that final lap, just knowing that I wasn't going to be challenged by anybody behind me.
Hi, I'm Mike Bagley. Join us for NASCAR Live, Tuesdays at 6 on the Motor Racing Network.
Right here on the Big 920.
The LTN podcast is available on iHeart, iTunes, Google Play Store, or wherever you download your podcasts. Listen to us during the week, and we'll be just as entertaining as we are on Sunday mornings. NASCAR laid off some people from the corporate office this week. They said they called it 5%. Is it 5%? There was a couple of their silk-suited guys, but they also hired a guy, Eric Ryan, a new vice president of communications. So they come and they go. NASCAR supposedly is, there's a revolving door there, like most companies in the country. Strangely enough, gentlemen, we're racing here at Phoenix. Ed was quick to jump on that Kevin Harvick bandwagon last week, but I'm going to guess that when we look at the big picture, Ed, he may or may not be the guy you're looking at today, huh?
No, I'm looking at the Deuce.
Well, that makes some sense. Dan, who are you looking at today?
I was looking at the Deuce too. I think it's a Keselowski kind of day, but if he's already taken, I'd also look towards like Chase Elliott, the guys that ran here real good in the fall race. Now last time in the spring we were here, Tyler Reddick was up on the wheel before he hit the wall and crashed. But
oh, no kidding! It looked good.
And so I don't know if that's one to can you go back to last Spring's race and compare it to this, I think the fall race is a better comparison, and Chase Elliott was real good there. I think Kozlowski finished second. Was Logano good in that race as well, I think?
Yeah, he is. Brian, what are you looking at?
Yeah, Logano won it last year, in the spring race there. I just think Kyle Busch has got to break out of this here and get going early. I know I said it all last year and it never happened, but I've seen Kyle Busch really run well here. 2 years ago, I think he came and swept the weekend, won the Xfinity race and the Cup race. So I know the practice thing isn't there, but if they can get him a good we'll know in the first probably half hour if he's going to be competitive or not. But I can see Kyle Busch winning this race today.
So I thought you took 22. Is it 18 or 22?
I'm taking 18, not the 20. I can't take it.
All right.
He's good in the booth. He does a good job in the booth, but I still don't like him on the racetrack.
Well, speaking of guys you don't like on the racetrack, I'm taking Hamlin today. He does pretty good at this track. Whether I like him or not, doesn't matter. He doesn't do it for my benefit.
It should be an interesting deal to watch. We're going to have an interesting perspective. We are actually going to the race today. We're going to go watch it from an infield table. So we'll see what it looks like from the infield, from turn 4 to the start finish line is about what we're really going to see.
There you go. Here's what we're going to say. Ew! And we'll turn around and look at the big screen and have a $13 beer.
It'll be just like going to Elkhart Lake,
Are they going to let you? Are you going to be able to maneuver around in that infield? Like, can you go up to the fence and watch some live pit stops? So Dan, take your phone.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. Yeah.
Very strange. And I'm wondering, Dan, the garages have always been open. If you have a mask on, you can't walk in there.
No, the garages are all still shut down. It's a great fan experience here at Phoenix when it's open and under regular circumstances. I'd highly recommend going to check it out, but I think that's still closed
There's
down.
25% of the regular people. Everybody's going to be required to wear a mask. Why wouldn't we be able to walk in and watch them work on the cars?
In November, we'll be able to do that. Let's hopefully.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me, I got my shot this week. I feel stronger already. I didn't lose any weight though, so that didn't work.
According to Sleepy Joe, it's going to be July 4th. We're opening up.
That's perfect because that's when the Cup Series is in town.
That's right. And Elkhart Lake was going to be open for business anyway. So no difference is you won't have to wear a mask, I don't think. Yeah. Oh, it is that time of the program. And Brian, I am sure you have some results just chomping at the bit here.
Yeah. Racing is really getting going. In fact, there were cars on the racetrack in Wisconsin yesterday. They had a practice session up at Gravity Park in Chilton, and they had a fair amount of cars show up to practice on the dirt up there. So it's nice up here. I'm telling you, if we could just stick around, we could be racing soon. But anyway, we'll start in Greenwood, Louisiana on Friday night. The Comp Cam Super Dirt Late Model Series was there for night number 1 of a 2-day program up there. 3,000 to win. Logan Martin was your winner over Billy Moyer, who finished 3rd. Cochran, Georgia, they had a $20,000 to win. Gobbler 100. You're saying, what the heck is the Gobbler 100? Well, it rained out Thanksgiving weekend, so they made it up. $20,000 to win, and Brandon Overton picked up the win there. In the $3,000 to win 604 crate undercard, Will Harrington was there. He won over Kyle Bronson, and Brandon Overton finished 3rd in that one. Brad Keselowski was in that race. He struggled a little bit in his first debut in a crate late model. I think he finished like 15th or 18th, something like that. Columbus, Mississippi, Friday night, the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars raced for the first time at the Magnolia Speedway. Sheldon Howdenchild was your winner. Our own Scotty Thiel from here in Sheboygan showed up. They had 36 cars there. He made the show, but he was involved in a wreck and finished 24th. Yesterday in Abbottstown, Pennsylvania, the 410 sprint cars were there. Danny Dietrich was your winner. Port Royal, Pennsylvania opened up. 3,000 win for the sprint cars. Lance DeWeese was your winner. And in the super late models, Trevor Feathers was your winner. Rick Eckert was going to win that race.
Trevor Feathers?
Yes. Yeah, Trevor Feathers. Rick Eckert was going to win that race, and he broke with a couple laps to go. Georgetown, Delaware, the short track Super Series big block modifieds were there. $10,049 to win in the Melvin L. Jofus Memorial. Matt Shepard was your winner over Stuart Friesen. Milton, Florida, the Southern Raceway, the Southern All-Star Late Model Series, $5,000 to win. Rusty Schlenk from up in Michigan traveled down to Milton, Florida, and picked up the win there. Clarksville, Tennessee, this is Todd's favorite race. Every year he loves this one. The 17th Annual Tuckasee Toilet Bowl Classic. $5,000 to win for the UMP Late Models. Tanner English was your winner over Dennis Erb Jr. Night number 2 in Greenwood, Louisiana for the Comp Cam Super Dirt Series, $7,000 to win. Cade Diller, a regular on the World of Outlaw Morton Buildings Late Model Series, he picked up the win there. Billy Moyer and Timothy Culp had a little bit of an incident. If you see some video of that one, Moyer just gave it to Timothy Culp, sent him off the track. The two looked like they were going to fight. It didn't happen. Surprising to see that out of Billy Moyer in his old age.
Hey, don't mess with the old guy.
What's that?
Don't mess with the old guy.
Oh, I know. Him and his son were there too. He would have teamed up on him also. Union, Kentucky, Florence Speedway, the 10,000 to win Spring 50 for Super Late. This looked like a Lucas Oil race. There was everybody there. And Ricky Thornton Jr. showed up and took home the money. He picked up the win over Bobby Pierce and Jimmy Owens. That was a rough one. If you see highlights of that track was rough. Those cars were a couple feet off the ground sometime in the corners. In the UMP Modifieds, Brandon Green was your winner over Kenny Schrader, finished third in that rough track. I mean, the old guy can really do it in that type of situation. And finally, Monroe, Louisiana last night. If you get a chance to see the highlights of this, it's one of the best sprint car races you're ever going to see. The Rev Speedway, a brand new track. It was an asphalt track. They put dirt on it. They hosted the NOS Energy World of Outlaw Sprint Cars. David Gravel got the win. Scotty Field finished 18th. They ran the entire portion of the World of Outlaw program. Heat races, B-mains, dash, feature, without a single caution. And the racing was spectacular. Wow. Look it up on Facebook. They have highlights of it up there. It was an unbelievable race. David Gravel won it over Brad Sweet.
And that does it for dirt?
Yes, it does.
All right. There isn't a heck of a lot to tell you about the world of asphalt racing, except the Rattler is a pretty decent race. How many laps is that thing, Dan?
It's a 250, I think.
Oh, my. I tell you what, why don't we take a break, and I'll tell you about the Rattler and who's racing that we know down in Alabama this weekend when we come back.
From racing engines to street engines, long blocks to turnkey packages, or complete custom engines, just ask and Wagner Automotive can fill your needs. All backed by many years of racing experience. These years of experience have provided reliability and performance that customers need to win races. Wagner's has been building championship winning engines for top teams from NASCAR to short tracks in your backyard. This expertise has carried over to street engines they supply to top custom car builders. The Wagner Company, in the heart of Wisconsin, is outfitted with the state-of-the-art machinery necessary to design, manufacture, build, and test custom engines and their accessory parts. Dyno services are independently available for anyone needed to test their engine. Wagner's Company can also provide you or your company with production CNC machining or welding services. All your questions and requests are handled personally by Casey Wagner. Just give us a call at 920-394-3557 or visit our website at wagnerautomotive.com.
It's a red, white, and blue weekend of family fun as Road America hosts the NASCAR Cup Series July 1st through the 4th in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. 4 huge days of stock cars featuring the NASCAR Cup, Henry 180 Xfinity, and Trans Am Series. Camp on site and catch every lap. Enjoy fan activities including autograph sessions and free family fun zone. And free admission for youth 16 and under. Get your printed home tickets today before they sell out at roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com. Come for the experience, stay for the race. Road America, your national park of speed.
The NASCAR Cup Series. Side by side, they race back off of turn number 4. Chase Elliott is there.
Move southwest to the Phoenix Raceway.
Harvick drives it in deep. He'll go to the outside lane trying to get a run on Logano. Can't do it. Logano leads. They're crushing further back.
It's high-speed, close-quarters racing at its best.
Joey Logano is going to victory lane.
The Instacart 500.
All the action starts at 1:30 today on Milwaukee's home for NASCAR. The Big 920 at big920.com.
The Rattler 250 will be in Opp, Alabama today. There are 33 super lates that showed up for that thing. Stephen Nasse will start on the pole. Ty Majeski is there and will start third. Nasse has never won this thing, but I think Ty has won it 3 times.
He's won it 3. I think if he wins a 4th, he sets the record for the most.
Johnny DeAngelis towed down there, and they had a great qualifying run. They're going to start 9th. Austin Nason from Rockford went down there. He's 13th. Bubba Pollard starts 15th. Steve Dorr, who races at the Slinger Nationals, will be starting 23rd. Rich Bickle was supposed to have gone to the race. Something happened to the hauler, and they never left Wisconsin, I guess. I don't know what the problem was specifically, but that's what was posted on Facebook, and that's all we really have to go on. Brian, you mentioned Kenny Schrader before. Of course, Schrader still races a lot, as much as he ever did. The guy's going to be 66 this year. But I'm going to watch him this coming Friday. Scott Hansen, along with our lovely wives, and I are going to be going to the Cocoa Paw Speedway. on the Indian reservation in Yuma, Arizona, where there just happens to be a nice Indian-run hotel and an Indian-run casino on the same property. And we're going to be watching Schrader. He's not bringing his car out here. He's going to drive another guy's car. So that's going to be Friday night. It'll be fun.
IMCA modified. That's right up in his wheelhouse. He's good at it. He's not going to gloat about it either, but he's really good at it. I mean, yesterday's race showed it. In them rough conditions, he just got up on the wheel, and I think he's racing against guys that were more than half his age, and he just kicked their butts.
He's also a pretty good test driver. He had that SRX car out in the middle of the week at Caraway Speedway. They finally got the car out. The actual car was on the racetrack, and they did a test with it, and there was more planned for each track they go to. I'm not sure what Slinger's date would be, but for the test date, the race is July 10th.
Geez, that means Schrader be coming back to Slinger to test the car there.
Schrader and Kenny Wallace are the test drivers for that series.
Well, now, isn't that a coincidence? Because both of them have raced multiple times in the Slinger Nationals, to which Schrader probably says, I am available that night. All I had was to race a modified. That's pretty cool.
It was neat to see the car out, though. I mean, we always saw drawings of it and computer designs of it. We actually saw an actual car out on a racetrack. So they have at least one built, and moving on with that.
This is the same job that Dick Trickle, Jim Sauter, and Dave Marcus used to have for the IROC series. And it's Kenny Schrader and Kenny Wallace for the SRX cars, because they're all supposed to be identically prepared. They're going to have a drawing, right, on the night of the race?
Yeah, I think they find what cars you're in, and I'm just curious how it looks, how it races on a short track. Like the car, it's got a wicked design. I mean, the spoiler thing in the back is a little radical to me, but
it's a Daytona. It's a Dodge Daytona rear wing.
Huh.
There was one other interesting thing that came out of that. Some of the posts they had on there, they had Ray Evernham answering questions from people, and he had like a big stack of cards, and he's flipping through the questions. And one of the questions was, is there going to be driver access? Are people going to be able to meet and greet? And he was emphatic about absolutely. If you remember way back when they announced this, we didn't know what it was going to be. We kind of thought it was going to be more like a Major League Baseball game or something. He goes, absolutely, they're going to have driver access, and you'll be able to talk to the people and this and that. And he even said at the end of it, he goes, and if there's a driver on there that doesn't want to, talk to you or doesn't want to give you an autograph, you let me know and I will take care of it. I was like, wow. So that's another nice addition to this. And hopefully by the time they get that series going, we're going to be done with all this, COVID crap, and we can go about business like normal. But so it sounds like there's going to be access to the drivers, which is cool to hear.
And
that's what happens when you're paying the bills and you're paying the drivers. They do what you're told.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's fact. But I've heard that there's going to be pretty restricted pit access for before the race. So I'm going to guess they're going to open it up after the race, or maybe have the drivers out.
Right, I can see him out more in front. Obviously, you can't have Pitts be a zoo when they got a race to put on. You got work to do, especially with a live TV broadcast having gone live. But I could see them having something either out in front where the drivers set time, to go meet with the guys.
The only one of that group was Michael Waltrip that has ever raced at Slinger Speedway before. And Ed, you worked pretty close with him to get him in a decent car. Whose car was that?
Did he drive one of Schill's cars? Yeah, Michael Waltrip drove. I thought it was one of Schill's cars.
It wasn't a Jerry Wood deal, was it? That rings a bell.
I was involved in it.
Oh, Ed, I took you and Michael Waltrip in my 85 Thunderbird and drove you from the pit entrance over to the car. I know you were working with him that weekend.
I don't remember.
It was
a lot of stuff to remember in that head. That's not one of them. Right?
There's a lot of laps in there too that he's thinking about.
I remember the 10 questions though about that with Dennis Spring.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Check out the Slinger website. There's Dennis Frings did a thing, 10 questions with Dennis Frings, the noted car builder, and he credits Ed Kluka with putting Alan Kowicki in his car. Pretty cool, and no doubt. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We're Dan, imagine we're going to a race this afternoon. How cool is that? Right here in beautiful Phoenix, where it's going to be a sunny 70 later. I mean, I can't really guarantee the weather when you get home tomorrow, though, Dan. Sorry about that. That's the way that goes. Hey, thanks for tuning in, making us a part of your Sunday. And as we like to remind everybody, real race cars have doors, even if they do climb in through the windows. Let's Talk NASCAR is produced and directed by Dangerous Dan Margetta, our in-house engineer, website coordinator, and king of the knobs is Matt Hangover Losi. who reminds you to hang on for the Hangover Show on the internet. Hey, we'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks.
This program has come to you live from multiple locations via Skype. Any and all comments expressed on this show do not necessarily express the opinions of this station, its employees, or advertisers. Your comments are always welcome at mail@ltnradionetwork.com. Find us at facebook.com/LTN Radio Network. And thank you for your support since 1985. Tune in again next Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time for the LTN Hour on the LTN Radio Network.